Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Paul Wharton Style Across the Pond, a Joyous Holiday. So this has been the most challenging year that most of us can remember. We're used to packing up and heading out, visiting our families, getting that good food, taking gifts, hanging out. Well, this year looks a little bit different, but I believe in tradition, and I've set a tradition for myself of creating a holiday special every year. You remember Patti LaBelle, Home for the Holidays, don't you? You know you bet, so wait a minute, you know it, you bet. And what about last year, A Fabulous Holiday with Paul Wharton and Friends, and my mom.
And I want to wish each and every one of you a happy, blessed, healthy holiday season.
Well, this year I'm coming to you from across the pond in my home in London. It won't be as fabulous and over the top as Miss Patti LaBelle. That actually got me an Emmy nomination. Thanks, Patti. But it will be from the heart. I wanted to share some of the recipes that I make in my home, how I decorate my tree, and just kind of create some new traditions with you. So there's still reason to celebrate. This is definitely going to be a joyous holiday. And here with me to do it from their homes is my dear friend Vanessa Williams, the Queen of Christmas.
Again, with your background in television and style and fashion, it's a perfect combination for you to be in one of the world's greatest cities.
The other queen of holiday Christmas movies from the Hallmark channel, Holly Robinson Peete.
Well, I'm a little intimidated because I've watched your cooking videos and I don't roll like that. I don't cook glamorously like you do, but I can throw down a little bit.
And my favorite author, Dr. Charlette Stokes-Manning, is going to be here talking about her new book, Forgive, and how you can hold on to what's really important about the holidays.
Take a deep breath and breathe that oxygen is going in and feeding your body, that carbon dioxide is going out and feeding God's elements. Value those things.
So what do you say? Let's have a cocktail, let's whip up something in the kitchen, and let's have a joyous holiday. So you know it's Christmas when the festive holiday decor comes out. And let me share with you a few things that I love to do for Christmas time. So when my guests come over, they go, wow, Paul, it feels like Christmas. So I always start with my fireplace mantle. I think that the mantle, whether I've had a real fireplace or even in places I've lived where I just bought the fireplace that was electric and I put it up against the wall, it didn't matter because I made it my own and I made it the centerpiece of the house. Everybody likes to gather around the fireplace. It's kind of like the kitchen. It's warm and very inviting. So I love to really utilize the mantle of the fireplace to show my festive feelings for the holiday. Now, a few things that I always have: garland, lights, holiday ornaments. I always couple that with pictures of my family. Now, because my mom and I couldn't be together this holiday season, I added a picture of myself and a picture of my mom from one of our favorite times on vacation at Grey Gardens. And for those of you in the UK that don't know what that is, Google it. It's a lot of fun, trust me. I also love to mix together, this garland is not real, but I really like to have things that are real. I want real branches and real eucalyptus and all of that. So I work with a phenomenal florist here in Chelsea called the Flower Stand Chelsea, and we get together and we talk about what I want to achieve. And so we talked about it and I said, I want a gold wonderland, but I want it to be real. So we sprayed this eucalyptus. It's just that. You just spray the real eucalyptus. So it's still alive, but it's sprayed, okay? And we have some beautiful branches here that we sprayed. And then we just mixed in some ornaments. I just threw some ornaments on, and you just make it your own, and you'll know when it's right. You know, I just laid on the floor here, and I put it together, and I put it in. It's in fresh water, and I just feel like it's very festive. I don't like to do all real because that's a lot of work because, you know, it dies. And I don't like to do all fake. I kind of mix it in together. and I think it turned out pretty well. Bookcases. We all have a bookcase, and I think it's a perfect place to just add some holiday ornaments. And if you go to the discount stores, you can get them. They're not that expensive. Of course, I've had some that I've collected for years at my home in the States. So those are the really special ones. And this year, I add on maybe 1 or 2 really, really nice ornaments every year. But the bulk of it, the bulk is from a discount store. So it looks really pricey and expensive, but it's not, you know, because I'm being responsible. Anyhow, so flowers. There are flowers everywhere. All my flowers are real. And as you see in this arrangement over here, I've dried some oranges, which is something that I want to make in a separate video to show you guys how I dry oranges, and I mix them into my flower arrangements. But I essentially, for my bookshelves, I just have candles, I have holiday ornaments, I have fresh flowers. You have pictures of your friends and family, and it really makes it special. The piece de resistance, of course, is the Christmas tree. Now, I got this tree from Shoots and Leaves here in London. They delivered it for me. It's an 8-foot tree. Very happy with it. And most of these ornaments, 95% of these ornaments, I got from various discount stores around London. So here's a trick for making your tree look really expensive. Lots of warm white lights. I think this tree has probably about 1,500, I think I've used about 1,500 lights, right? So the more lights you put on, the more expensive it looks. But most of these ornaments, just to say again, I mixed and matched, and you have to get out and you have to shop and put different things together. But these pieces, like this was £1. These ornaments were £1. Big boxes with these, maybe like 30 ornaments, were £5. So it's about really layering it on. That's what luxury is. Luxury is, in design, layers. That's what you have to do. Just keep putting it on. When you don't think it's enough, put more. Like my mom and I say, we call her a Maximus, and we have a lot of fun decorating her house for Christmas. So moving over here, more pictures, more flowers, and I've added candles and books. So candles are a really phenomenal investment if you want to. The centerpiece candle for your house should be a great investment. The ones on the peripheral, around the edges, those can be the more inexpensive candles, but you always want to have one. This one is from the Wolseley here in London. You always want to have one that really sets the tone, and the scent is very rich, and it's the best quality possible. So that's what I have here. Pictures that remind you of home, that remind you of festive holiday times and traditions. This picture is of me and Whoopi Goldberg, because our tradition is every year my mom and I bring in New Year's at Whoopi's house. This will be the first year in a long time that we're not spending New Year's Eve at Whoopi's. But I still have this picture. This is from last year, New Year's Eve at Whoopi's, and look at all the beautiful poinsettias around. And the smiles, the memories are priceless. So I can just look at my framed pictures and reminisce. This one here, this is me and Patty LaBelle. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. This is from her house, Christmas 2017. So when we shot my holiday special, Home for the Holidays. So I love having these beautiful pictures around. I just say, go through your phone, pick out a few, print them out at the local drugstore, and get a frame, whether you want to make a real investment in the frame or buy it from a discount store, but definitely put the pictures of your friends and your family and the people who warm your heart around you on the holidays, and it's going to make everything better. My nieces, these are 2 of my nieces here, Nadia and Sienna, just different family times. These young ladies are so special to me, and having them framed and around me is just makes my heart just sing. And you're going to meet this lady coming up next, Vanessa Williams. And if you think this tree is something, wait till you see Vanessa's tree. But she's been a wonderful, loyal, and loving friend for many years. So I keep her picture close, just to always make sure that I remember the value of friendships. So there you have it. Candles, holiday ornaments, white lights and garland, a Christmas tree that didn't break the bank but has a lot of lights on it, and you have a beautiful, festive, and joyous home for the holidays. Hey, happy holidays, Vanessa. How you doing, honey?
Good, honey. How are you? Good to see you. You look amazing and your place looks fabulous.
Well, it's inspired by the one and only Vanessa Williams. By the way, when are you getting your home line? Because your house is something to behold.
Oh, thank you. Working on it. Hopefully something soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, I just wanted to keep my holiday tradition of having a special on board. I know this year has been so challenging for so many people. They're not able to get with their families. And I thought, who could add some joy and festive holiday spirit? Vanessa Williams. So thank you for joining today. And, I've been cooking in my kitchen. I know you're a fabulous cook. What do you have cooking up in your kitchen this holiday season?
Well, let's see. I actually having some COVID crew people over. We all had COVID together, so we're part of the same pod. So I just got my ginger molasses cookies out. I'm gonna make a carrot cake because it's one of our friends' birthdays. So that's my pans are ready to go. I made a big pan of cornbread, so that's ready to go. And I'll go to the market and get some fresh salmon and do some broiled salmon with a Dijon mustard sauce for that tonight. One of my friends is bringing gumbo, so that'll be delicious as well. And I think my mom's bringing bread pudding, darling. Bread pudding.
Oh, bread pudding. I love it. I love it. Yeah, someone over here told me that I had to learn to make the bread sauce.
It
Have
is.
you ever seen the UK bread, the bread sauce that they make over here?
I've had it. I don't know how they make it, but it is delicious. Yes.
Oh, I
And
love it.
I'm so happy you're in the UK. I mean, I remember telling you when I came back early in March because I was supposed to be in City of Angels and they canceled us, the week before we opened. And I just knew that you were a perfect candidate to have a wonderful life in London. You're sophisticated, you're adventurous, you love history, you love style, fashion, and you're elegant. And I knew they were going to eat you up, and I'm sure they have.
Well, you're putting it nicely. You told me, hey, hey, little boy, get
over
up and get going. Stop all this wavering back and forth. Your mama will be fine. I'll call her. That's actually what you said. And I'm so happy you did because listen, I knew about 3 people over here. And in the midst of a pandemic, finding this place, shipping my things, packing 4 suitcases, 4 70-pound suitcases, sight unseen and moving, I think goes down as one of the most extraordinary bets on myself that I've ever made. And so I just want to thank you for believing in me enough as a friend to encourage me to do something that you knew I could succeed at. And it's working out. It's working out.
It's perfect for you, and I'm just so happy that you are courageous enough to have another chance in your life to kind of turn over a new leaf and start a new chapter. And again, with your background in television and style and fashion, it's a perfect combination for you to be in one of the world's greatest cities.
I love it. The only thing that's missing is you. So we have to get you back here for City of Angels. Hopefully in the new year, in 2021, you're going to open back up.
Yes, that's the plan. So we're planning on doing some concerts end of January, February at the Palace Theater. So let's hope that all the restrictions will allow us to actually have the concerts just to whet people's appetite, what we had accomplished earlier in the year and what will the show will be once we get back up on its feet. So I promise I will come. We will have cocktails. We will have a wonderful, wonderful time over there together.
I love it. I love it. I wanted to do this special to encourage people to take the stress off of themselves for buying all these gifts and zone more into the experiences that they can share, even virtually like this, with each other. But one gift that is making its way around, and my own niece, Anasia, mentioned it to me. She says, I got to have a daughter because I want to buy her bubble kisses. So I just wanted you to share a little bit about that story from your book, Bubble Kisses.
I have a new children's book out called Bubble Kisses, and I will make sure that your niece gets it. And it came about. I had a song called Bubble Kisses for. I've had it for the past 25 years. Wanted to do a children's album, never got around to it. All my children left the house. My baby, who's now 20, was going to college for her freshman year. And I was at one of the family barbecues, and another mother came up and said, listen, I've got a publishing company. If you ever want to write a book, I'd love to work with you. And I said, well, I wrote a book with my mom called You Have No Idea, but I've got another idea. And I sat down with her and we talked about Bubble Kisses, which is the song that I had, but I wanted to expand it. So that's what we did. I sang. So when you get Bubble Kisses, you get Bubble Kisses, the music. And then you open up the book and you see the adventures of a young girl and her best friend, who's a goldfish named Sal. And when they go to sleep, they go under the water, under the sea, and have adventures and meet all kinds of mermaids and all kinds of wonderful musicians that are also, fish and amphibians. And it's fantasy. But what I really loved is that it's imagery. When I grew up, I didn't have the opportunity to have a lot of black dolls and black images in storytelling books. And this allows me to be able to, Tara Nicole Whitaker, who's my illustrator, did an amazing job with a young girl with an afro puff and brown skin. And when she goes under the sea with Sal, all the mermaids are different colored skins and hair textures. So it's really diverse, and it couldn't be more perfect at this time worldwide.
I love it. Well, rush out and get it, definitely. Bubble Kiss is a fabulous gift. What other experience that I love the holiday season, sharing in the holiday season, is music. And I tell you, your holiday music is on, constantly playing in my life. Actually, all your music. I'm embarrassed to tell you how much of it I know, word for word. But what are some of your favorite Vanessa Williams holiday songs?
Well, my favorite that I sang are the ones that my kids are on. My daughter, Melanie, is on a track called Gracious Good Shepherd. She has a whole solo. And I remember her going into the studio, and she was only 9 years old. She was nervous and clearing her throat, and she did a magnificent job. And then Sasha was just a baby. I think she was about 4 years old when I did a song called December Lullaby. And she sang, shh, listen. And at the end, she sings along, la, 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 la. And it makes me cry every time I hear her. And then besides my music, which I'm really lucky to have 2 albums out of holiday music, my favorite is Ella. Ella swings Christmas. And I just got a chance to do an Ella Fitzgerald Christmas show on PBS back here in the States. And I sang 2 of Ella's lovely songs, What Are You Doing New Year's Eve and Christmas Blues. And it was wonderful. It came out in 1960. It's still on the charts. It is one of my favorite albums of all time.
I absolutely love it. I love all of it. Your PBS concerts, for those of you that don't know about them, definitely go on YouTube and check out some of Vanessa's PBS work. I love it. It's just such a great way to share an experience with your family. Doesn't cost us a thing just to support PBS. So love what you're doing over there. You know what? I just want to thank you so much for helping to raise the vibration, to share some of the festive interactions. I just really adore you. Thank you so much for making this holiday a bit more joyous for me and everyone watching Vanessa.
Well, thank you, Paul, and happy holidays to everybody. Happy Boxing Day, Merry Christmas, and enjoy your time there, your family. I know this is the wonderful thing about this new age. We can connect with technology. So we're always close. But I again, thank you for checking in. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and can't wait to see you.
Absolutely. Thank you, honey. All my love. And tell Gaga and everybody I said hi.
Absolutely.
Okay, darling.
Yeah, love you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. Holly Robinson Peete, the queen of the Christmas movies. How you doing, honey?
Well, when they name you Holly, that's Dolores Robinson. Talk to Dolores Robinson about that.
Yes.
What else are you going to be, Paul?
All right, what are you going to be? You stepped into your greatness, right? You stepped into your light.
I did. I love doing these Christmas movies. I love being synonymous with Hallmark Christmas movies. I love that there's a sense of a studio over there where they have the same leads, the same female leads. You establish relationships, and I've done 8 of them already. The Christmas and Evergreen is my 8th Hallmark Christmas movie. I've done other stuff with them, but it's my 8th Christmas movie, and I'm really excited about it. Listen, your girl is of a certain age. So to be Black and 50-something and working on TV consistently, it's pretty awesome. So I don't take that for granted.
It is phenomenally awesome. Well, Hallmark does such a great job at creating such a whimsical, magical Christmas moment. How much of that is true to the Peete household? Do you come home and decorate the heck out of your tree? Do you make those beautiful meals? Come on, set the scene, Holly.
Well, put it this way. We all try our best at decor. We're not all gifted in that area. Not like you, Paul. I see all that in the background. You probably did every little bulb and ball.
Every bit myself, I did.
Now, I will say that since I started doing Hallmark Channel Christmas movies, I've gotten better. Why? Because I've been, hanging out with the set deck and the art department and props. And I really have seen, the magic of Christmas decorations and Christmas decor. That's one of the things that I think is the secret sauce to making a really good Christmas movie, is that you have actual, just in every frame of the movie, you have some Christmas going on. And so watching that meticulously happen, I think has rubbed off on me a little bit. And I've gotten pretty good at it. I mean, my little setup back here is no indication. This is my little black setup. But I think I've gotten pretty good at it. And, I've gotten into these artificial trees. I never was into those before, but I got my trees from Balsam Hill, and I'm so obsessed with them. I grew up with real trees in my whole life, but now I am so obsessed with this instant tree feeling. I love it.
Let's just make it happen.
Turnkey.
Turnkey, that's what it's all about. So, taking the stress off of ourselves this holiday season, this year, especially more than any others, because so many people have struggled so much this year. I've really been talking a lot in this little special about just having experiences, even if they're like this. That's why I wanted to do this, a virtual experience. We're alone, but we're not lonely. We're still connected in some way. So what do you think about that? Because there's so much pressure to have a perfect Christmas. And as a mother of, as you said, a whole bunch of kids.
11.
Of 11 kids, how do you take the pressure even off of yourself, Holly, and what's your advice to other mothers?
I'm very honest with my kids, and I say, listen, mom needs this, mom needs that, mom needs time, mom needs a nap. Like, I'm always telling them about my needs, and so there's no you didn't say you were tired. You didn't say you were. I'm always communicating my needs as a mom. I learned that very early on. When you have 4 kids like I do, you got to find yourself. So I would just say, give yourself a break. As a mother, you got to give yourself a break. You cannot stress out too much, because if you go down, the whole empire goes down.
That's it. Yes.
Self-care is so important. And especially around the holidays, when we feel that extra added pressure and energy to get it right. I mean, this morning Rodney and I were saying, okay, what do we get for this one? What do we get for that one? And they're 15 to 23. It was a lot worse when they were younger, stressed out about all 4 and how do you balance it out, because that it can be stressful. But I would just say the key is not being so hard on yourself, giving yourself a break, and finding that time for you. So in the morning, I intentionally put on an app. There's so many great apps. Technology is excellent for being good to yourself.
Meditation?
Yes, I have an app called Calm. I love that one. There's 15 minutes in the morning, something called the Daily Calm. I don't work for them. I'm not advertising for them, but there's so many apps like this. Even if it's 15 minutes, Paul, when you wake up in the morning and you set your intention, that's super helpful, especially during the busy holidays when you feel like everything has to be perfect.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what's one tradition, whether it be cooking something or Christmas Eve, what's one thing that even in the hectic state of this year, you're just not gonna leave on the floor? You have to do it every year. What's your Christmas tradition?
Well, the one tradition that we always do is a tradition of gratitude. It sounds really corny, but when we sit down to eat Christmas dinner or Christmas Eve dinner, we will always have, everyone writes down what they're grateful for that year. And, you know, with crazy kids like I have, they write crazy stuff. But they're funny, right? But they write several things, and then we put it in a big hat and we pass it around and we try to guess who said what. Now, what that does, especially in our house with older kids, because sometimes they don't talk at the dinner table, right? It creates conversation and funny conversation and brings up memories. And so that's our Christmas grateful, you know, our gratitude messages. And that's something we do every year. We do it at Thanksgiving too. It's super helpful to get that conversation going. And I love it.
I think that's a great idea. You know, I was on a show the other day, Holly, and I was telling people, you know, we spend so much time on our phones, just stuck looking at our phones. And, you know, if you don't have any cash, if you're a kid, make your family a little video, a little film of yourself and edit it together. And, you know, there's so many things we can do right here on our phone. This phone is a gift. Because I know if my nieces made something like that for me, it would mean so much more than them buying me something.
I always tell my kids, especially for my birthdays, I just want a letter or a video. I just want some kind of memento to tell me what a great mom I am.
I love it.
Tell me how good I've been to you. I want all of that, Paul, because I don't care about, I'm not a lady who cares about stuff. I did before I had kids, but I really don't. Now, you know, if you get me something nice, I will be appreciative. But that said, I love when they make me stuff. I love when they write down, they do videos, even an Instagram story on your mother. I love that because I don't make too many appearances on their social media. You know, because I guess that's not cool to post about your mom. But when I see those types of, you know, shout outs to me, I love it. So yeah, those simple things. And you're right, with the phone, you can create that.
So speaking of mothers, Dolores Robinson, my girlfriend, and your mother, I just want to shout her out for being so phenomenal. So what do you do with a woman like Dolores Robinson on Christmas? What do you get a woman that has had and has everything?
You know, my mom is very difficult to shop for. I did get her a couple years in a row. I did get her some purses because my mom will stick to one purse and be good with that for many years. So I did get that. Okay.
Sound like one of your Hallmark movies.
Yeah. I love gifting my mom luxury items because she doesn't shop for herself like that. You know, she don't care. And honey, she will buy something from somebody on the street in a heartbeat and be totally fine with it. And you know what?
She's bigger than the labels. That's her.
She is not a label
coming through.
Right. And so, but when I get her a nice, real good Prada purse or something, she really appreciates it. So I like splurging on that.
So I was just on with Vanessa Williams. She told me to tell you hi.
Oh, please tell her hi. I miss her.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she told me that she was in the kitchen making cornbread. And I mean, she's got her whole holiday menu planned. I've got a chicken in the oven. I have a lamb shoulder that I just made, macaroni and cheese. So what's happening in your kitchen, Holly? What are you making over there?
Well, I'm a little intimidated because I've watched your cooking videos and I don't roll like that. I don't cook glamorously like you do. But I can throw down a little bit. Yeah. I have a couple things that I can make that was handed down to me from my mother. She makes that sweet potato and apple casserole. So, you know, she and you have to have that big cast iron skillet, right? And yes. She puts the sweet potatoes, the apples, brown sugar, butter, you know, nutmeg, cinnamon, and then she layers them very methodically in like a lasagna pan, like a baking pan. And then she puts these little marshmallows in between the layers. So you don't have to just get them on the top, but they're in the middle like a little sandwich. And it's so good. I don't think I've ever made it as well as she has, but it is really good. So I'll be making that. I'll be making my mac and cheese. We usually fry a turkey, but the last time we did, the fire department came, so we're not doing that anymore. And I'll leave that to the professionals. And then, I've been really loving Miss Patty's bakery goods.
Yes, the cobbler, they're so good.
I'm just blown away by the fact that they are mass marketed now and mass produced, but they still taste like she just sent me one. And she used to send me them all the time. Now she's like, child, I'm too old to be making all those pies. Go get them yourself. So I love her pies. I love her cobbler and her bread pudding that you could get at Walmart. So I just, that I kind of cheat in the dessert area.
Well, I was expecting to take some takeaway from Patty's house, and you know what she gave me when I went to her house? Cobbler to go from Walmart, but
Hey, but it was good, wasn't it though, Paul? It was really good.
Listen, it was so good, but it hit different because it was from Patty. I'm like, oh, I got that from Patty. They're like, I got Patty from Walmart. I said, no, I got that from Patty.
Right, exactly. She gave it to me. I'll never listen. Speaking of Patty, one of my best Christmases ever. We were playing in the NFL during those days. We were in Philadelphia, and Patty was there, and she sent over a brisket. Now, I had never had. Paul, have you had her brisket?
I've had her brisket, yes.
I've never had meat like that before.
Yes.
Ever. Prepare. I never really had a brisket until that moment. So now if it ain't her brisket, I don't eat it.
You don't want it. Well, I'm just going to say that every time, I don't know if it's because your name is Holly and my sister's name is Holly, but every time I see you, you just make me smile. I think there's no better woman that can be the queen of Christmas movies, bringing joy and laughter and just positive vibes into our homes. I wanted to thank you for doing that because, in a way, you kind of bring us all together. I think that's really sweet.
I think that's important right now. And the content of these Christmas movies that I've been blessed to do has really, I think, helped. I mean, the numbers are pretty remarkable. And that doesn't surprise me because I think people want that kind of positive, warm, how it's going to end. I'm going to get the guy at the end and, it's going to work out good. But I'm really proud of the Christmas Doctor and Christmas in Evergreen. And by the way, if you want to see them, you can go to Hallmark.com and there's so many ways for you to find these movies with streaming and downloading. So check them out. Let me know what you think.
I love it. Well, Holly, thank you for helping to make this a very joyous holiday, and Merry Christmas, honey.
Merry Christmas, baby. I love you.
Love you too. Bye, babe.
Bye. Mwah.
Well, it's always a joyous holiday when it's time to eat. So I'm used to making my holiday meals with my mom, but she's in the States, I'm here in London, so I'm gonna do the best I can. We always love making a beautiful lamb dish. Usually we make a rack of lamb. This year I got a fresh lamb shoulder right here, but I'm going to make it with a special spicy twist. I'm doing a masala blend by Halal Fresh. So Halal Fresh is a service that I use every week. They deliver fresh organic ingredients to me and some recipes that I can use to make my meals absolutely spectacular. So I'm gonna make my masala lamb shoulder with my potatoes, carrots, onions, and fresh rosemary, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Because I'm having just a few people in my bubble over, I also decided to make a chicken because who doesn't love a nice Sunday roast chicken? So I'm doing mine with a little twist. I'm doing a za'atar spice on my chicken here. So I'm doing my chicken, my potatoes, carrots, parsnips, and Brussels sprouts, along with my fresh garlic. And then I'm gonna make an onion gravy with fresh thyme. So what do you say? Should we get down to cooking? I think we should. Let's go. All right, so first things first. For those of you that pull your meat out of the refrigerator, you turn on your stove to preheat and you throw it right in, take a moment, relax. Pour yourself a little glass of champagne. Hold on. Savor the holiday. It's supposed to be joyous. And in my kitchen, it's always joyous. It's very important to marinate your meat. So all you need is a little olive oil and your spices, okay, and a little garlic too. So I add a little olive oil, which I've already pre-marinated this. So I put a little olive oil on. And then this is my lamb masala spice that I get exclusively from Halal Fresh. So I put a little olive oil on, and as you can see, I add a little of this masala, and I rub it top and bottom. I rub it in really good. Garlic is a perfect way to marinate your meat, and it really helps bring out the flavors. But when you're cooking a big piece of meat, you're not often able to have the vegetables and the meat be ready at the same time. So what I like to do is I rub that in. See, I rub that in with my masala. You see how that goes into the grooves there? That's gonna be so good. Rub it in with my masala and my olive oil. And then for both of these pieces of meat, because they will cook a little bit faster than the vegetables, I will cover this with foil. I'll put this over my marinated lamb shoulder. Now, I've done the same thing here with my chicken. I have done olive oil, and I've done my za'atar seasoning here. This is exclusive from Halal Fresh here in the UK, but you can get your own za'atar seasoning. That's gonna really spice it up and give it a really wonderful flavor. And I love that this meat is now room temperature because it's tender and it's ready to go. It's gonna be really beautiful. I've marinated my meat. I've used my masala seasoning on my lamb, my za'atar seasoning on my chicken, olive oil, fresh garlic. Now I'm gonna cover with foil, 180 Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll cook them for 20 minutes and then I'll take them out and I'll add the vegetables around them. Cook for an additional 40 minutes. The main meats of your holiday meal will be done to perfection. Watch and see. Well, hello there.
Hey, how are you there across the pond?
Across the pond, my spiritual mother, my mentor, my friend, my sister, Dr. Charlette Stokes-Manning, the woman that introduced me to love, faith, gratitude, and forgiveness, the 4 spiritual principles that helped me through some of the toughest times. And now you have a new book called Forgive. And so many people have had such a tumultuous time this year, such a rough moment, and they're still having a rough moment, coming up to the fever pitch, which is Christmas. So many expectations of gifts and bounty, and maybe they don't have that this year. So there was no better person to come on and talk to us about the true meaning of forgiving ourselves for the things that we may not be able to do, and also being grateful for the things that we have and loving each other. No better person than you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, baby. Thank
coming
you.
and sharing.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you know, I'm a firm believer that COVID was a gift, you know, because I think that we spend so much time over here, over there, doing this, doing that, and we don't spend enough time with ourselves. We never allow ourselves to go do a deep dive into what's going on within ourselves. And a lot of times, rather than to deal with stuff like that, we just go on to the next adventure, you know. But ultimately, you keep drawing the same person and the same experience until you're into your life, until you're ready to forgive.
Yes.
And that forgive is F is face your fears. O is organize your thinking. As you think, so shall you become.
Mm-hmm.
Release, R is release and let the crap go already.
Let it go. Okay.
That's right. G is gratitude. Be grateful for what you have right here, right now, because by God's grace, you are here. You may not have everything you want, but you have everything you need in this moment. And A Course in Miracles says, be grateful in this moment and let the universe handle the details of the next moment. I is for intuition. Listen to your gut. Your gut is always telling you the right thing. When you go against your gut feeling, your intuition, that's when stuff gets jacked up. Okay. And you
Okay.
ultimately end up right back in you. How many times have you heard, I should have followed my right mind?
Yes.
How many times you heard that?
All the time.
That's it. So V is for value. Value the little things in your life. Value the fact that you can go out and go for a walk. You can stand up on your own. You can take a deep breath and breathe that oxygen is going in and feeding your body, that carbon dioxide is going out and feeding God's elements. Value those things. And E, of course, is energy. It's all about motion, moving in the direction of what it is you want to create and manifest in your life. And when you are able to forgive and forget and forgive and dismiss and forgive and get on with it, you open yourself up to a wide range of all those gifts and things that God would have you manifest. You can't express God when your fists are closed. You
Yes.
have to open yourself to receive. And that's what forgive is about. And the book has little interactions. It's a interactive book. It's not intended to just be something that you read and then go on. This book is filled with opportunities for you to write down your things, little things like, do you forgive with conditions? If so, what are they and why? Do you hold somebody hostage with your forgiveness? So it's all about, you know what? Forgiveness is not about them. It's about you. So I wrote this book not just for you and others. I wrote this book for me because I need to be reminded also that I need to face my fears and organize my thinking and release and let the crap go. Be grateful for where I am and what I have. Listen to my intuition. Value those things that are so important in my life. And energy to express the divine oneness I am with the Creator. So that's what it's all about.
The divine oneness. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because actually you helped me to manifest, several things in my life. I mean, change my life completely from time to time as I hit those pivotal moments. But I met you in the Unity Church, and there's a song that we sing, and I kind of use it as a chant and always as a thought. Our thoughts are prayers.
That's my
And
favorite.
we are
Always praying. Our thoughts
are prayers.
Take charge.
Take charge of what you say.
Seek
A
a higher consciousness, a place of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
When you think about those words
That's it.
and you put that into your day-to-day life, it really will manifest change for you.
I'm so proud of you. I cannot imagine, even 5 years ago, that you would do what you're doing right now, that you would trust in your knowingness to take a leap of faith like this. This is, it takes courage. One of the things, my favorite movie is Evan Almighty. And when Morgan Freeman said, Evan's wife says, I wish I had courage like Evan. And Morgan Freeman, who played God, said, when you ask God for courage, he will give you the things to be courageous. Mm-hmm. So though all those things that come up in your life are to make you more spiritually mature. Absolutely. And that's who we are, and that's what we do.
Well, there's no better gift than you and the gift of Forgive, which people can still get online. You can go to Amazon.
Yes, and I was a #1 Amazon best-selling author in the UK. Under it was under women and business and under women and spirituality. So you can, yours is on the way. So your hard copy, this copy, you can download it, but your copy is on the way. I sent it to you yesterday, so you should have it in a few days.
Wonderful. I've already done my download. I bought it online, but thank you for
Thank
my
you.
copy that's coming in the mail. And I want everybody that's watching definitely to check out Dr. Charlette Stokes-Manning, her new book, Forgive, available on Amazon. Thank you for all the gifts that you've given me
I
and
love you
so
so
many
much.
others that follow and believe in you. And I just love you.
And I love you right back. And you are such an amazing example of what life should be like on earth as it is in heaven. God bless you, honey. You take
Thank you,
good
my
care.
sister.
All righty.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you for making it joyous.
Okay. All right.
Bye,
Bye
honey.
bye. Bye bye, darling.
So while that's in the oven, I'm going to mix my vegetables together and do a bit of a vegetable marinade. So for the chicken, I have my carrots, I have my Brussels sprouts, my potatoes, so pretty, right? So holiday, and my parsnips here. So I'm going to put all that in. I always add a little fresh garlic. You can never go wrong with fresh garlic. So I'm just going to chop up some garlic here. It's going to be so nice with my chicken. Let's throw that right in there, my garlic. I'm going to add just a bit of olive oil, maybe a few tablespoons, tablespoon and a half to taste. Some salt and pepper. And whether you like a little pink Himalayan salt or sea salt, it's the holidays. Why not do both? Sprinkle a little bit of that over the top. And one thing, I told you I use this za'atar seasoning from Halal Fresh on my chicken. So I have a little extra left, and it's very spicy and delicious. So I just put a little over my vegetables. And then we just mix all of this up with the olive oil and your Himalayan pink salt, a little bit of your sea salt, your coarse black pepper, and you mix all of that up here. So after 20 minutes, when your chicken has gotten nice and ready for your potatoes, you can then arrange these in the tray with your chicken. Cook it for an additional 40 minutes at 180 to 200 or 350 Fahrenheit, and you're ready to go. So I'll set this to the side. And I will do the same with my vegetables for my lamb. So I have my potatoes. And I have my carrots. And I have my onion, which I've chopped fine, all right? All of that. Of course, more garlic. Garlic is always appropriate if you're like me, because I just love garlic. So I just chop this up really good. I kind of like the nice big pieces with my lamb. Ooh, it's so good. Throw that in here. Back to my olive oil, which it's the holidays, so I'm almost out. Couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Same thing with my Himalayan pink salt. And a little pepper. All right. Now remember, my lamb is masala, so because I like it a little bit spicy, I'm adding just a bit of this masala seasoning from Halal Fresh. If you want to check them out, they're halalfresh.co.uk. So I added some of that in. I will actually add a little bit more of that to my lamb when it comes out. And you know, it's just vegetables, so I can use the same spoon. And you mix this up good, so you have your garlic mixing in really nice with your potatoes and your carrots and that masala. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. So that's all ready to go. Once I layer this in with my lamb shoulder, I might add just a bit more sea salt, a bit more black pepper over the top, and I'll put them both back in the oven for 40 minutes. And let me tell you, your guests are going to love it. You'll see. Okay, so my lamb, ooh, look at that, you all, and my chicken have been cooking for 20 minutes. My vegetables have been marinating the whole time they've been in there, so they're ready to go. These are my vegetables, my Brussels sprouts, parsnips, carrots, potatoes, and garlic. This is all ready to go around this chicken, so I'm just gonna kind of maneuver it around. I wanna create a bed of vegetables under my chicken. Then I get real surgical here and pick this bad boy up. It's kind of hot, so I just kind of pick up my chicken there and I work those vegetables under it. See that there? Add more vegetables to the front. There we go. And that is nice and ready to go back in the oven. I can cook these at the same time, my lamb and my chicken. Now, I will add my carrots, potatoes, onions, garlic to my lamb. And I do the same thing here. Now, I will add my carrots, potatoes, onions, garlic to my lamb. And I do the same thing here. I add those vegetables in, and then I kind of work these under my lamb shoulder. So I want the lamb shoulder to kind of sit on the vegetables. Okay, all right, I hear you. Ready to rock and roll. My kitchen knows. It sings to me. Oh, Paul, we're so happy you're cooking. So, if you take a good look there, you'll see my lamb shoulder ready to go back in. I'm gonna add my fresh rosemary, and I just add it nice and whole. What I normally do is I'll put just a sprig to, just a little splash of olive oil over top of my fresh rosemary. Maybe if you want, just do another once over of your Himalayan pink salt on everything. Lastly, your specialty spice. I told you my spices by Halal Fresh. I'm doing a masala lamb. So I'll just do a little bit more of my masala seasoning. Now that's quite spicy. If you like spice, it's perfect for you. And then I'll do a bit more of my za'atar seasoning because this is really going to play into the way this chicken looks in the end. It's gonna have this beautiful look. Brownish, greenish, just, it's gonna look super festive and amazing. Put that right over top. I like to add just a drizzle more of my olive oil right over top. That's going to activate that za'atar seasoning here. Don't forget, you just took these out of the oven, so they're kind of hot. So here you are. I'm going to put my lamb back in. You're going to put these back in the oven for 40 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, or about 350 Fahrenheit. Put these back in the oven.
Hey Paul, West Coast in the house. Thanks for including me in your Christmas special this year. All I can remember is the good times we used to have in your brownstone in Harlem. Good times. And those are the good times I want everybody to hold on to, since most of us can't be together for this year because of the pandemic. So listen, just remember the presents, the tree, the dinner, and the good times with friends and loved ones. We'll get together next year. You can count on it. But until then, I want you to have a blessed, happy, wonderful, everything holiday season.
So there you have it, a joyous holiday from my heart to your home. I hope you enjoyed my friends Vanessa Williams, Holly Robinson Peete, and Dr. Charlette Stokes-Manning. And look at all this fabulous food. Our lamb shoulder came out perfect, and my Sunday chicken roast, halal fresh. I just absolutely adore you. Lena's Catering helped me with the baba ganoush and the olives and so many good things. Thank you so much. This is my mulled cider, and this is a toast to you. I hope 2021 is phenomenal for you and your family. Here's to you.